What's up, everybody? Today I'm with my team and we're going to be requalifying some of the buildings that they originally marked as bad. So we're going to see if they made any mistakes, and if they did, then we're going to review them and we're going to requalify them. So let's get started. Okay, so this is the property. So I mean, look, I wouldn't qualify this thing as bad. It is a bit wonky because you have this parcel attached to your property that you don't own, and then you don't own this building either, but this is a bit more concerning. So this is, I guess, maybe even like an industrial condo. Otherwise, I don't know why they would not own this piece as well. But anyways, it's like from here to here. This is not something I necessarily want to acquire. So I guess it's okay that it was marked as bad, but it's still not a bad property in and of itself. I mean, the shipping is very tight, but they're drive-in doors. It's tiny units. You know, you'd have probably one tenant occupying this. You'd have another tenant maybe even occupying something like this, and then another guy occupying this. Overall, though, I'm actually not even in disagreement with it being marked as bad. Now we are at this property. It's this lot right here, this one right here. So this property is technically still within the main industrial park. Okay, so the main industrial park's here, and then it's just on the road over here. So I would argue that this is pretty much within the main industrial park. I don't think that should be too much of an issue, although there are homes behind you which could affect kind of, I guess, the noise requirements for this building, but I don't think it would be too much of an issue. The odd shape is a bit concerning. You know, you want like a nice rectangle like this one, although this one looks like it has a ton of office, which isn't good. But anyways, you want like a clean rectangle. So here it's a bit of an odd shape. You know, this shipping's tight, but again, it's a drive-in door, so it doesn't really need to be that much room for the shipping there. And then here the shipping's fine and it's all garage doors. If you wanted to subdivide this thing, it would be pretty clean up until this point. You'd have to have a tenant take all this space, or at least this space here, and then it is an odd shape for this tenant as well. So anyways, you guys qualified this as bad. I wouldn't necessarily say this is bad, but for our purposes, I wouldn't want to acquire this building. So I'm fine with that being bad as well. Okay, so that's not good. Now this thing over here, I mean, it goes without saying that this thing is just not good, obviously, but even just as an outdoor storage play, like I'm assuming that the zoning allows for outdoor storage considering the neighbors have it. But if you look here, you need to repave this lot. I mean, it looks like a disaster. And then this building is non-existent, so you have to demolish that building as well. This is just not good. Okay, so this is half of the building over here. So this is this half of the building, not this half. But at the same time, although they're attached, like it's perfectly separated into two squares. So each of them have their own piece of land in the back. To me, this is almost as good as owning your own building completely detached. Like I don't see much of a negative here because you fence off the yard. So you each have your own yard. You each have your own parking in the front. So I don't see any real downside by having that attached like that, but that's the first thing. Okay, so now the rest is, let's see from street view. So it looks like their second floor office in the front. Yeah, there's an AC unit up here. I'm assuming their second floor office on the top. That's a bit concerning because the building is tiny. And if the office goes all the way up to here, that's horrible. That would be like 50% office, but it'd actually be more because if the office is up to here, okay, then it has 2 floors of office. So it's actually like 75% of the building is office because you have this square footage and this square footage on the floor plate is 50% office, but then you have another amount of office that's the same square footage as the floor plate just as additional office. So it's significantly higher than 50%. So if that's the case, if the office goes up to here on 2 floors and you can't remove it and they want you to pay for the office on the second floor over here, then completely garbage. If that's not the case and it's just mezz that they added and they punched out a few windows up top to give them some windows in the second floor office, then and he only charges you on the floor plate, let's say, so I'm not paying for office on second floor that I'm going to end up demolishing, then this is a good building. You know, like I mean, you could separate it into 3 units that are pretty much equal. Each of them have their own drive-in door, tons of shipping. You even have extra room to park trailers or cars or anything. You have a little bit of outdoor storage and the zoning allows for it clearly. Nice shape, perfect rectangle, parking in the front. Like I don't see any other issues. So my only concern with this one would be the office on the second floor. So I'll put this as okay. So this property is weird shaped land. Okay, so it's an odd shaped land. It has office on 2 floors in the front, but this is obviously a new building. Okay, I would make that assumption. Okay, so office on 2 floors, but here I don't know how far the office goes. My assumption would be there's not too much office just because this was built recently. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing is it has 3 drive-in doors. I don't like the way they spaced out the drive-in doors, but my assumption would be they probably had a tenant that wants to occupy this with 1 garage door, and they had another guy that wants to occupy this space with 2 garage doors, so they just added an extra garage door for that guy. I wouldn't do new construction like that. Like, I wouldn't make it that specific. If I'm going to give this guy 2 garage doors, I would give this 2 garage doors as well, but whatever. That's just me, but it's not bad the way they did it. Shipping is more than enough just because it's only drive-in doors. You have a little bit of extra land for outdoor storage, although they didn't pave it. I don't know why. The shape of the land is odd, but it's not concerning because of how they built it. It was well built, and it's in a main industrial park. This to me is actually good. This guy made a very weird mistake, okay? Yeah, like what the hell? You know, like, so this is the problem that people do sometimes. They buy this lot and they're like, I'm going to build a building for my business. And then they do things that lower the resale value in the future for all other businesses just to make it work a bit better for their operations. You know what I mean? I disagree with that approach, especially this. Like, why is the grass one patch like this? Like, why didn't you do like a little like roundabout thing here? Then you have 2 entrances, you know? Or even cover it all like this and leave 1 entrance, but then you have all this parking. It just, none of it makes sense to me. I would argue this is still good. It's just like, it could have been amazing. Like, cause it's not like these problems make it unusable. It just looks a bit weird, and you could have had more room in the back. Probably you could have stored some trailers in the back. You know what I mean? But like, see, it's not like there's not many drawbacks to what they did here. You know? And then the other thing is, though, if it was pushed up front, like, everybody could probably park some stuff behind here, but now you can't really. These are all downsides to this building. It was just poorly designed. So office only on 1 floor, and it's probably suspended ceiling. So because of that, you could just demo the office in the front and make it all warehouse if you'd like. So that's like A++. And then you could subdivide this into, looks like that's not a drive-in. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 units. Each of them have their own drive-in door. The shipping is tight, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because like it's only drive-in doors. You don't need 53 footers here, and they're tiny, tiny units. So this is good, but I just wanted to explain, like, this guy could have been amazing, you know, and he just made some mistakes. Okay, I'll just go quick. Like, this is obviously good. Drive-in, extra room for shipping and storage in the back. Maybe there's too much office. Let's see. No, that's not 3 floors. That's 2 floors. That's just like a nice little, like, they just tried to be artsy with the windows. That's fully 2 floors. You could see it right there. Yeah, so high ceilings, and the office doesn't look like it might. Oh, so it looks like it goes up to here. Yeah, see it. Look, you could see it perfectly. See it. The AC units are like this. So the office is for sure like this. Yeah, 25%, maybe 30%, yes. But at the same time, it's fine because it's a bunch of tiny units. And you could even do it, you know, you could even do it where you have 3 tenants only, or you could even split it up even further and do 6 tenants. I would probably leave it as 3 tenants. This is definitely good. So here it looks like 2 drive-in doors. So you could separate this into 2. Each tenant only has 1 drive-in door. It's not much, but it's doable. Shipping is tight, but again, it's only drive-in door, so it's fine. You have extra room over here for parking. Office only on 1 floor. Suspended ceilings, most likely, so you could just convert this all to warehouse. Low ceilings, but it's not the end of the world because it's just tiny units with drive-in doors. This is okay. And it's in the West Island, that's why it's okay. This could be bad, to be honest, if it was in like a shittier area and it was a bit more run down, but this is doable. This is okay. Thank you guys for watching. If you have a building that fits the criteria we're looking for, you see what we like, you see what we don't like. If you have a building that looks like something that we would like, click the link in the description down below and reach out to our team. We will submit an offer on your property very quickly.